Hey, bud.
Hey man, how are you, buddy?
All right, man. How you doing?
Good. It's good to see you with your Amon Amarth shirt. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
I get
nice.
that. Uh-huh.
That was
So,
some awesome video that you sent. What a great
oh,
stage presence.
and
All
and
the
it stayed.
backdrop,
Yeah.
that big Viking stuff. That was really cool.
It was awesome, man. Just such a blast.
Yeah, your first time, huh?
Yeah, seen him on a mark. Yeah. It
Nice.
was really nice. And could have did without the Death Clock is just a cartoon band. I mean, they have excellent musicians performing songs there, but it's just like, yeah, it's silly, over the top adult swim shit. And all it
Oh,
was, they were performing to the songs, just the animated video in the background of every song. It's just like me and my son-in-law Ryan were like, he's like, I could have left after Amount of Mars. I go, you know what? Me too. I said it was like nothing was going to top that night. I
yeah,
mean, Castle Rat was interesting and fun and silly. It was
yeah,
so Spinal Tapish meets Kiss meets I don't know. It was what I started laughing a few times, but it's like
yeah,
they really put a lot into it, the show, and Riley's just a great vocalist and
yeah.
she's very talented songwriter too. So
I love that song. Was it the Wizard, or is that what it
Wizard,
was?
yeah.
Or Wizard? That
Hmm.
riff, man, it's just so simple, but just fucking heavy,
Right,
you know?
compels you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the video is great too. It's just her walking and the kind of in rhythm with the music. I'm like, oh, it's Red Sonja, because that was my first time I saw her. I'm like, oh, it's Red Sonja. Awesome. Um, and then kind of like I love how they lean into the kind of silliness of what they're doing,
Yeah.
the theatrics of it. But I'm happy for them. They're having a big moment, and
Hmm.
you know, I saw
Really taken
Riley
off.
on another podcast. I never heard back from her, but Riley, if you're here, we'd love to have you on sometime.
Yes.
Um, I wasn't expecting, uh, you know, I mean, they at the time they still had tons of followers on Instagram. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
just ballooned,
They've
ever since
they've
this tour.
exploded for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, uh,
Oh.
I'm gonna be reaching out to Mr. Mark Jackson because they're getting ready to go on tour with
Black Label.
Black Label Society. Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
say, hey
Yeah.
man, I forgot to get his address so I can send him some like stickers and stuff, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna say, hey man, why don't you go up to, Zach Wild and say, hey man, you need to be on this show. That would be great. That
That
would
would be
be
dude.
that would be awesome.
That'd be
Uh,
monumental with Zach on here.
yeah.
His
And it's
sense of humor and everything too. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
he doesn't take himself too seriously in any of his interviews. He just has
yeah,
fun and rolls with whatever, and it's
that's
just
great.
can laugh at himself and everything. And it's like that'd be a perfect guest to have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, if he's would be like anything like any of our other guests that we've had on, they like coming back on,
mhm.
which still blows my mind. And like as a co-host, I love that. They're not being interviewed now, but now they're participating. And
Yeah.
no, that would be awesome. That would be great.
And
The stories he could
the
tell.
last two shows we had with Mark and Doug were just those are great.
Yes.
I
Fantastic
mean,
shows.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I really like Doug's, when he said Primal Fear, I'm like, I could have put that on my
Yes.
list too, but it's so great to hear
Hmm.
come from him with his knowledge of music and
Hmm.
exposure, all this stuff that he does and breaks down stuff that,
Yeah.
wow, all right, feeling the love. Good to hear
Yeah.
that.
And I like that. He remembered some of the ones that we had talked about before, like Sermon. And I'm really hoping, and he'll give Shaolin Death Squad a listen too. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I said, just listen to that first track, man, and then you'll get it. You'll get it. But I'd love to
Yeah.
hear him do a review to it because it's such an interesting sound and so like, on prog and it's all those elements.
Yeah. If
Oh,
he could, yeah, break that down, that'd
I
be
know. It's
interesting.
like, I'm begging you, man. Please do this. How you doing, Hendrik?
Good. How's it going, guys?
Going
All
very
right.
well. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Mhm.
Oh, no problem.
Think Daniel said this was your normal like Thursday night meeting time, so we might have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
few
yeah.
a few members of the band,
We shall.
which is awesome.
Heck
Hey
yeah.
Daniel, how's it going, man?
So my name's Daniel. It's awesome. And thanks for being willing to have us on.
My pleasure.
No problem, yeah.
We checked
We
out.
did our,
Oh, it's cool. I gotta admit, I'm not a huge horror buff, but
It's all
but
right.
the hell, yeah. But
that's okay.
where are you guys based out of?
We're in Northern Ohio. We're in a couple
Okay.
different cities across the northern border. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
more
guys are in
towards,
Virginia, right?
Yeah,
In Fairfax,
Mhm.
that area?
yeah, around
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Essentially,
Nice.
I mean, scattered from. We started in Fairfax, then we all kind of moved in each direction away from it. But
Okay.
so Northern Ohio is like side Toledo or other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I'm about 20 minutes west of Cleveland, and Chop's about
I'm in the middle of Toledo and Cleveland, very much Sandusky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna have a lot of fun,
Yeah, we're
Nice.
excited. This is I think the largest interview we've done in a minute. I mean, in terms of how many of us have been able to. So
Oh,
we,
nice.
you almost had the record, but anyways, we can do a quick round of introductions, just if you'd like, so you know the instruments and everything. So my
Yeah,
name's Dan.
yeah.
I play guitar in the band, and we started this band, if you can believe it or not, in 1998. And Christopher was also one of the founding members, and quickly found Ben. Not long after that, we put out some music in the early 2000s and did a number of tours, including a couple years on Warped Tour. And then as life kind of took a twist, we didn't really break up, but we kind of went on informal hiatus and reformed just before COVID hit, and
Okay.
that sort of took another twist on our history too. But that was when we really started putting our heads together to start writing the record Nothing Man, and that was kind of how we ended up crossing paths with you guys. So turn it over to Ben.
Yeah. My name's Ben. I sing for the band. I started in it was 2003, and here we are today, still doing it, rocking and rolling, loving it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Hendrik.
Who's next? Yeah.
name's Hendrik, and I play drums. Been playing with us for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. It's a lot of fun.
Excellent. Okay. And Christopher.
Hey guys, I'm Christopher. I play bass guitar. Started playing with these guys and when I had just started high school, so I was I think 14. And Daniel is 2 years older than me. I'm sorry, a couple years older than me. He is my older brother. And so funny thing is some of these early shows at that age, he was basically my guardian, dragging, going out to shows, playing some of these places up and down the East Coast. And anyways, it's been a great time, a lot of memories made, and we're looking forward to keep going into the future.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Chop and I will introduce ourselves, and then we'll do the introduction to the show, and we will get going and all kinds of goodness. Yeah, I'm Montag, and ChopTop is
Mhm. Chop
ChopTop.
Top. Yeah.
That's right. So yeah,
Not inspired by horror films, by the way, but yeah, we are. So
right. That's right. That's right. So we're gonna do our great intro, and then we're gonna get into some questions. We got all kinds of fun stuff. We got some games to play, and we're gonna get to know you, and we're gonna have a good time. All right, here we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is him from Sermon, and you're listening to Heavy Metal Horror.
I am Montag, master of illusion. What goes up must come down, but not always.
yes, it's Chop Top, and this one might leave you in ruin. Stay heavy. Rock on.
And you are watching and listening to Heavy
Heavy.
Metal Horror. Oh, kitties tonight. we've got Age of Ruin. That's right. That's right. Remember from our first track frenzy. That's right. Age of Ruin is here. Guys, thank you for joining us on Heavy Metal Horror.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's a
Thanks.
pleasure.
We both loved your album. I mean, because
Oh, yeah.
that first track was so good, and like I have to listen to the rest of it. It is so hard and fast and so many different. It's really complex, with some really great, heavy, memorable riffs. So it's just a spectacular album, guys. So thank you for allowing us to give the reaction to it. We appreciate that.
There's a lot of stank face beatdowns on that. The guitar work, you hear some galloping riffs, you hear, the metalcore riffs, you hear some complexity there. The bass lines are really grooving too. There's some groove metal in there as well. It just is. I listened to it again today. It's just really, really good album. So
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys saying that. I think it's an interesting reaction and comment because I think we actually deliberately approached it that way. We really wanted to present something that had a little bit of something for everyone in a way, but still retained our signature. So, I mean, everything from moving into a lot more melody with the vocals. Really, we pushed ourselves hard on the guitar shred too. I mean, we actually went in a couple years before we actually went into the studio. Myself and the other guitar player, we were taking lessons from a master shredder to really push the shred and put the licks, push our speed and everything up. And then went and recruited one of our hometown heroes, is Mike Schleibaum from Darkest Hour, to help us produce the record too. So that really drove not only the guitars then, because he's a guitar player, but from his production standpoint, the drumming, being in the studio, having him really push us on getting the rhythms perfect and on the click so that everything else would fall into place really well, and the vocals and bass too. It was really a fun experience in that, and we were pushing ourselves so hard. But back to the original point, that really was I think a strategy. Was we were wanting to not just have a 10-song record of kind of the same, like, cookie cutter song of the same sort of sound. We wanted it to be an album, which I'm sure the two of you can relate to, something that we missed from our youth.
Yeah.
Sitting back and actually listening to an album in its full duration is something that means a lot to us. We wanted to deliver that.
Yeah, because the album has its moments, because it's quiet. There's some quiet, in the title track, and then the crazy melodic guitar solos. And I'm a drummer as well, Hendrik, and a little step down below Paul Stanley as a rhythm guitarist. But so I was just impressed with, like, the staccato, the machine gun double bass, and just like so fast and so precise. But yeah, we're really really appreciative of being able to listen to it. So we're gonna get like some basic background questions first before we get into our more specifics. So I can just ask each of you. You can all take turns answering, or if you want. When did you first get into music?
I myself grew up with my grandfather teaching me banjo, you know.
Oh,
And then,
nice.
like, at age 11, he told me, like, banjo's a dying art, which it's not. But anyway, so he bought me a guitar. I started playing guitar for a long time. And in that band that I played, started playing in a band around age 14. And, in that band, I did like some backup vocals and stuff. And, that led me to meet these guys in Age of Ruin. And, here I am.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool.
Hendrik.
How about it? Yeah.
Myself personally, my dad was also a musician. He played bass, and so kind of grew up listening to a lot of music. Got exposed to punk in high school and started playing in bands since then. Kind of how I crossed paths with these guys.
That punk influence is definitely in the album. You could definitely hear it. Those roots are there, which is really great. Yeah. Christopher, how about yourself? When did you first get into music? Well, you mentioned earlier you were young and being brought to
Yeah.
shows, so that was kind of great.
What I can recall is, like, growing up as a kid, getting into elementary school grades, I remember around the time when Kurt Cobain, like the, that that was huge in the news and everything, and with Daniel being a couple years older than me, him being my brother, there's a lot of things that he would get exposed to, and then I'd hear him playing it in his room and stuff, and going, "Hey, what's that? What's this?" So I had some good counsel growing up too.
Nice. And Daniel.
I don't remember when I started getting into music, but I do know that my mother had a huge influence on me because number one, she made me start taking piano lessons, and I say it that way. She made take lessons. I I want to say it was between ages 5 and 8, so I was pretty young, and around that time, of course, she would chaperone me, drive me over to the lesson. Um, I have these distinct memories of her also singing in the car. And what's interesting is along to the radio, like it would be to the tape, the cassette player, the CD player, whatever. Sure, it was cassettes back then. Uh, but what was specifically interesting about this memory is that I remember her singing different notes than the singer. And as a kid, I have this vivid memory of saying, "Why are you singing those notes different?" And she said, "I'm harmonizing." And I was like, that makes no sense, right? And that may have been why she said, well, then you're going to get your ass on the piano, or I don't know. But um, I have that distinct memory. And because of that, I'm a lifelong Eagles fan because I love Don Henley because of these early days, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with the heavy metal that we play today. Following that, I remember being very into it was the mid 80s. I remember being very influenced by hip hop, and back then it was um, actually kind of more commonly called rap, but a lot of the like Young MC, Run DMC, um, stuff like that, until uh, right around like 1990 or so when the Metallica Black album came out, and I remember thinking that was just like it just drove. I was drawn to it, right? Drawn to it in the same way I was drawn to Nirvana and Pearl Jam. But I do believe that the Black album opened the door to more heavier stuff. Which I see the Amon Amarth shirt. I remember when that once record, that 98 record, that first record on Metal Blade came out. Once sent I can't even remember the name, but that stuff out of Sweden. That's out of and like In Flames and At the Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Finally found what like I always wanted to hear, which was basically a more aggressive Iron Maiden, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have so many early memories of music influencing me. I remember in 4th grade listening to Guns N' Roses for the first time and making my mother take me to the tape store to buy it the next day. So thankfully we have parents like Hendrix who really opened the door to music and supported it. And that's, I think,
Nice.
I don't know, I would have had that such early influence and early taste of it would have really led me down this path.
Nice. So
Yeah.
how would you guys describe the Fairfax metal scene?
So Fairfax is a suburb of Washington, D.C. And we actually, the two of us, Christopher and I, grew up in a house that was like literally on the border of Fairfax City. But Fairfax is a county. It's fairly large. It's also a fairly like wealthy county now because of the influence of the government. And also because of the influence of the government, it's very transient. And by that I mean families move in and out a lot. And I think the way that influences the scene, and that's true, goes into DC too. So I would say Fairfax's scene is really kind of shares the same values and everything as DC, but it's just outside of the Beltway. And so I don't know, I don't really think of it as much different. But because of that, transient sort of people moving in and out, I think that it it's always led to it being a mixing pot where people bring influences from other parts of the world, different languages, different cultures, different foods, and certainly different art. So I think
America writ small, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I know Hendrik has a lot to say on that stuff too. Like,
Yeah, Hendrik.
Yeah, it is a very diverse music scene in this area, whether it's like Northern Virginia or DC. We're also close enough to Baltimore. So many different styles. Um, we play with more hardcore style bands or metal or grind, or there's so much music in this area. I think that's one of the great things about, you know, being around Northern Virginia and DC. A lot of bands that have come out of here too. You know, being able to work with, you know, Mike Schleibaum and some of the other people that we've had help us out.
and just to add on to that, the DC scene, because of that influence, there's the, very strong punk rock and hardcore indie rock, the um, Discord is here. I mean, there's just a lot of really, and go-go music is, started in DC. So you can think of we've got friends. I mean, Hendrik and I have a mutual friend who plays in drums in a go-go band. I mean, the rhythm, the talking about playing drums. I mean, it's really fascinating seeing those different influences around. Traffic sucks.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine.
Yeah, I drove through DC a couple of years ago and just for the weekend, and absolutely hated it. You know, it was just it was so congested, and I mean, I'm like, oh man, it was so packed. And I had not been there since I was like in the 8th grade. I think we went for like a middle school trip to Washington. Everyone goes to DC, but no, that's good. That's good. Okay, I want to switch gears a little bit to talking about your musical heroes. Think about your musical heroes, and have you been able to meet any of them? And if so, what was that like? So I'll let anyone who wants to chime in on that.
I mean, I'll go, sure.
Sure, Hendrik.
I would say one of the biggest influence I've had was Dave Grohl. You know, just kind of like Christopher was talking about the timing of it when he came out and was playing. And then I did get to meet him. Him and Taylor came in when I was working at the music store, Mars Music in Springfield. And he was a really chill, humble guy and very nice and real respectful. And got to see him and Taylor trade some drum licks in front, and it was a great experience.
That's pretty wild. Was it like a
Mhm.
scheduled thing? Like were they there for a signing, or did they just like pop in?
At the time, they were recording locally, and they were just coming in to pick up some gear for the recording. So they were. I worked in the drum room at the time, and they were just testing out different cymbals and different amps, and they were teasing each other a little bit. Dave Grohl was making fun of Taylor for playing with Alanis Morissette the night before on like a VH1 performance. Just, it was you could tell they had a very good bond. It was really cool,
Yeah.
and they were real nice to everybody that was there.
That's cool.
Great experience.
Nice. Anyone else?
I don't have anybody like insanely popular or cool to really to call out. I guess, again, I grew up as kind of a guitar player at first and a backup singer, so all the local bands, like I was heavy in the hardcore scene, and all the local bands, I just kind of watched them, and I had my favorites, of course, but like I remember one particular, like being probably 13 years old, and I was in a basement, and there was a band that I ended up playing for called Apathy, and then with another band called Torn Apart, and the Torn Apart, they're like, if you ever check them guys out, that singer there, like I credit him a lot because like he was very versatile like that early on, and like I was like I want to be able to do that type of stuff. And I guess like over time, all the bands we played with, I've kind of adapted little things that I've liked and seen, you know. So I, you know, anybody that knows me that's seen this and, you know, we've played together, thank you. You know, all of you.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else?
You know, I worked for a little while at doing sound at a couple of the larger venues in the area, and some of the more famous musicians come through playing shows, and it would my job was not my job was to stay out of their way, so despite being around a lot of it, which was really cool to see them backstage, just kind of talking, didn't get to actually meet too many of them, with the exception of when I remember working for Farm Aid one year. Neil Young, Willie Nelson. I mean, these guys were hanging out at the at the food tent with the staff, like as if because it was it was I guess partly because of the it's an event to raise money
Mhm.
for cause, so there was that sort of mentality, but maybe less they're working the day for their own income and more about this is for other people. But I specifically remember it was a multi-day event because it was an all-day film crew that would come through, so they had to set up the day before. So the 2 years that I worked it would be an entire weekend, and you'd set up beforehand. The night before the actual show, I got to watch Neil Young do a sound check on stage with nobody in the audience, do an entire like arena. You know what I mean? That was super cool. But actually, what was more memorable was Willie Nelson the very next day walked by me and was like, "Hey, Daniel," and I was like, "Oh my god, that dude remembered my name."
That's awesome.
That's great.
Of course, he'll never see this, but I couldn't tell you a single Willie Nelson song. Maybe what's the one?
He's coming on next week, man. Oh man. Oh no, Daniel.
I do know his guitar's named Trigger, right? Isn't his guitar named Trigger? So
I
that's
know
a cool
he's on my
story.
short list of guys I want to smoke pot with. Willie Nelson, Seth Rogen, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I think
There you go, man.
those I could do some wake and bake with those guys. Nice. All right. Let's talk a little bit about creativity. So can you guys talk about your creative process when writing music or lyrics? Like especially on this last album, or if you want to talk about your evolution as a band, or your evolution as individual musicians or artists, however you'd like to tackle it.
Let me take a quick stab at this because I think it'll help the discussion. But the I don't know where the creativity in terms of the songwriting comes from within, but I do know mood and emotions influences it a lot. But I think what's really cool about the way we worked as a team on this last record was using the technology today, and I don't mean AI on that one, but it so we are geographically, I mean, despite being from Northern Virginia, Ben lives all the way out in Bethany Beach, Maryland, which is about 3.5 hours away on a good day. Um, and Hendrik lives in Arlington, and I live out in Manassas, Virginia, and that's on a good day a 45-minute drive. In DC, that can be
3
double
hours.
that.
Yeah.
So but especially with Ben being living where he is and being far apart, we really lean into the cloud storage. So we have a Google Drive set up where we have lyric folders, and we can all contribute to that collaboratively. We used Pro Tools has a cloud sharing environment where you can record into a session and then allow it to upload the edits you've made, and then the other person can consume those and get them on their end. And so it made it as best as possible where we could share our ideas really quickly. And we also each one of us has here's we got a recording studio at home, and we're able to then load each person's instrument into our own recording session so that we can hear that person's changes and then adapt to those pretty quickly. And that that's probably the next best thing to being all in the same room and just jamming together. But what was really interesting, I think, about it, if there's a positive outcome to it being the next best thing, was it also gives you time to reflect. Someone sends you an idea, and instead of having to instantly react to it in the room and try to quickly return some sort of idea of your own that would match that, or perhaps you never know where it's going to go. It gives everyone the time to reflect on the idea and really think about it. So I thought it really was an interesting way to approach the creative process on this record, and led to a number of surprises. I think positive outcomes and good surprises.
Nice.
What do you guys think? Am I wrong?
No, I mean, I must say it like this, like having my own home studio, being able to experiment with things that, like I'm not comfortable doing, by myself without anybody watching. You know what I mean? The sounds that come out aren't always pretty all the time. So like, it allowed me to really experiment and, you know, kind of branch out from the normal, yeah, normal age of ruin that it was, I guess. I don't, or the normal stuff that I was doing, just a little bit more.
All right.
We also definitely pushed each other, and also Mike, when we went in to go record these things, we also there are ideas that he may have suggested. There are some things we pivoted on and just changed it right there on the spot. And so being able to adapt with it was really cool. But we, like Daniel mentioned before, especially leading into it with writing the songs, them coming together, also taking lessons and really pushing you past your limits. That's a huge evolution in how that record came together as well.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. I mean, there are other bands we've talked to who are in your situation where they're not physically in the same space, so they do the same kind of thing. Bands like Jag Panzer, who they do that recording, send it back and forth. Venom Inc. Does the same thing, where they have a song, they send it back and forth because they're not even in the same sides of the ocean sometimes, So no, that's great. That's great.
It's a really cool way that the technology has evolved, and I think Chris made a good point too about bringing up Mike as a creative process, because we then had a sixth person that was suggesting ideas and hearing it from a sort of unbiased. Well, I mean, everyone's got a bias. He's got the music in his head too, but in terms of whose instrument was the most important in our band, it was unbiased. He would hear it from a kind of a very neutral perspective, and so I think maybe there's too much going on in this section. There was a lot of that we actually had conversations about, where we had too many ideas that we had to decide what ultimately the director's cut would had to come out, and we're very satisfied with how it ended up.
Should be.
Yeah,
It's
we
really
Yeah,
great
yeah.
output.
All the sound, the recording quality is phenomenal.
Mhm.
Everything, you can hear everything. It's mixed well, and it sounds wonderful. So you did a great job, guys.
Kudos, Bill Beasley.
Yeah, thanks, Will.
All right, let's talk a little bit about touring. You guys have done touring. You've been playing out big and small venues for quite a long time. So what's your favorite food to eat while on the road?
Oh, dude, they're all gonna laugh at me. I love to have hot chocolate at night, and every time for the past what
It's
year,
been a while. It's been a long while.
every time we've been to Sheets, Wawa, Bucky's, whatever it is, we pull into that, and the hot chocolate machines out of
Every one of them.
every
We're out of order. Now they're
time.
taunting you, man.
Every
I have
Right.
my phone, the whole collection of these broken hot chocolate machines.
We're gonna start like a where people can Kickstarter
GoFundMe?
and GoFundMe to make sure
Yeah.
that you have some
Hot chocolate machine.
hot chocolate and that's right. That's
It's
right. Or at
something
least a packet of Swiss Miss,
add to Google Maps and say, or Waze, you need to load in the hot chocolates and Waze.
Okay. How about the rest of you guys? Your favorite food to eat while you're on the road?
It's a lot of fast food, that's for sure.
You do your best.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I pack a lot of snacks. So you got to have a variety of chips, cookies, some candy,
Yeah.
a couple different drinks. You never know. Some of these venues, what we go to there, and a lot of us drink coffee, so we're looking for a coffee shop for one. And you're like, oh man, it's like 4 blocks over there. But hold on, that doesn't say they're open. It's like you roll into some places and it's a little remote. And then some venues we play at, they're quite quite a great host. They have stuff for us or it's nearby. It's
Nice.
always cool to discover places that we go to a new venue or new town.
That being said, I'm always on the scout for like a new pizza place, a new pizza joint, man. I'm never gonna say no to pizza.
All right, you guys come to the Cleveland area. I'll steer you to some good pizza, or even better, I'll bring one by,
Oh yeah.
at the venue. Nice. All right, so let's move on. Now we're going to be talking a little bit about these are some of our fun games and hypotheticals. These are some hypothetical situations now. Okay, guys, you're creating a one-day festival. What 5 bands do you want to play at the festival, and who is headlining? 5 bands.
Okay.
I think In Flames is headlining.
5, or is this as a group we have to huddle up? Is this like?
Well, you can each
Out
do
in
your own
group.
festival if you want. That's
Yeah.
fine with me. You don't have
Your
to do
own-
a collective if you want.
Yeah, it's your own little world. You can do what you want with it.
That's
You're on
right.
Heavy Metal
Just like
Horror,
Bob
so
Ross,
yeah.
man. Hey, man,
Yeah, pretty trees over here. and
paint a
everything.
nice,
Yeah, there you go.
happy one-day festival.
Oh man, these questions ask you to pick your favorite band. They always gum me
Well, don't
up.
worry, we got more. We got good ones coming up. Don't worry, we got a game called the Hot Seat. Makes everyone squirm. So don't worry, it's all good.
So there's bands that I would pick for this lineup, but I would pick them from a period of time, like a moment in time.
Okay.
And I know everybody would say the same thing, right? So that makes it so difficult. But what I will share is that I do appreciate, especially if it's a long show with multiple bands, when it's a mix of different, like not like a eclectic mix of genres, but if not every band is sort of the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
sure.
I shows like that. Metal shows and particularly maybe like the hardcore shows, but boy, after being pummeled after like set after set after set, like double bass and like breakdowns, sometimes you can appreciate a little bit of a break in it. But so like Mastodon would be on my list, but I would want Brent Hines in the band, right?
All right.
Nirvana would be on my list, but I would also want Kurt Cobain in that.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys?
He might be happy with that too.
I don't know. I heard something about Tupac and him were off in the.
Well, we'd have to bring Mike.
Who?
We'd have to put Mike on the spot and bring Darkest Hour.
Yep.
Ben?
The guy, except Mancake. Mike was in a band called Mancakes, half pancake, half man. What do you think, Hendrik?
Another great band I would like to add would be to play with on the festival would be Brutus.
Brutus.
Yeah, they're kind of a newer band. Great sound, very dynamic. Old favorite.
You'd probably pick Opeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys you dig them. Gojira might be on his list.
Age of Ruin be on mine.
There you go. Would you be
Yeah.
headlining?
Nah, no, we go on right before In Flames.
Okay, Christopher, who do you want on your 1-day festival?
One band I'd probably put on would be Nightwish. I remember we'd listened to a lot of the Nightwish earlier albums when we were going and playing some of our early shows. So in the van on the ride and so forth. Got a little different style.
Yeah.
Another one would be Dimmu Borgir for sure.
Okay.
That's a lot of variety. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
good list
that's
there.
a big that's
Yeah.
going to keep people interested. You know, if you don't like this band, wait 45 minutes, you'll hear something different. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, the next one. If you could turn one horror movie into a concept album, which movie would you choose?
Concept album.
One horror movie into a concept album. And you guys horror fans? If you're not horror fans, this might be a little more
Well,
challenging.
Daniel's kind of not. I think he said at the
Yeah,
beginning.
Daniel's not a horror fan necessarily.
Right.
So I'll qualify that by just expanding that I'm not really a big movie buff.
Okay.
And I think maybe everyone has like side hobbies and everything, but maybe I've just always been distracted by music. But we did our best trying to put this record to Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Didn't you guys catch that? The entire B side of the record is, if you start it right when the third lion roar happens, then I'm just kidding. You know what? We should flip this on you guys. You're the whole.
I can think of one like
Oh, okay.
maybe Alien, like one of the Aliens movies.
Funny you say that because I was trying to think lyrically, like what movie would I want to like write different scenes or lyrics out for, and it was between that and Hellraiser. Yeah,
Hellraiser would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah. I mean, you could write a lot about.
Oh yeah, those would be might be some fun albums there.
Yeah.
We have it's buried. I think you can only find it maybe on like the Bandcamp or something. But like in 2017 or 18, our original drummer from like 1998, he was hosting this every year. They did this like Halloween event at the bar he worked at. He was a bartender. They would always make special drinks and so for that year he wanted to record the Halloween theme. So we have that on our Bandcamp. You can find it. Which is kind of
cool.
No words. It's just, like I think the words are
That sounds pretty appropriate. Yeah. Nice.
That was fun. Yeah, I do like in a lot of that. I think that might have been John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of really good music in horror movies too, because of the you guys know this probably better than anyone, but music has such a big influence on the mood and music in movies. If there's I'm sure you can find something like this on YouTube, but I remember I took film study in school when I was in college, and it was actually it was a music class about music in movies, and the point they were making was like, let's watch this entire scene, and then we watched it again without the music behind it, and it was so boring. I mean, there was no like the music added all the stress and tension,
Yeah,
dissonance of the notes, the interval that they picked for the sound and everything.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much of an influence it has on the emotion that for the movie. So
well, I think a movie like Star Wars, John Williams' amazing score.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear the two primary themes, the hero theme and the villain theme, and the Empire. It's just immediate. I go back to my childhood, when I first saw Star Wars in the theater, and the emotions that came with that wonderful, swelling, all these strings and brass and stuff, or you can't unhear the themes for Jaws. You just can't. It's
Yeah.
haunts you for the rest of your life, you know, which is why this is why Chop has not gone into a bathtub since he was a child. So that's right.
No, but funny to mention that when I saw it scared the shit out of me when I was younger, obviously like so many others, I was afraid Jaws was going to come up through the shower drain and get me. So I was so young. That's how much of a psychological, emotional impact
He
that had
is.
on
He
just
can
not me and
chop.
everybody.
Jaws can do that. He can do anything he wants. So
Yeah.
don't worry
I
about
didn't
that.
go.
Next
I didn't
time.
go to the beach for like two years after that
That's
movie
right.
too.
That's
Like,
right.
yeah, good.
Uh-huh.
Right. I think that's the new Sci-Fi Channel movie, Commode Sharks, Toilet Sharks.
Road sharks.
That's the next one. That's it. They come up through the
Yeah, like
pipes.
lava sharks or avalanche sharks.
That's
Yeah,
right.
all
That's
that
right.
crap. Yeah.
If we were going to pick a horror movie to do a record based upon, what movie would you suggest us to watch?
Ooh. Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Ben. Let me report. I will say either Carpenter's The Thing, which I
Okay.
think is just so many story elements within that. I'd say maybe even The Exorcist or even the original Omen.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
think
Fog. I go with the
there's
fog.
three great concept albums right there. I
Yeah.
think out of the horror genre.
The Exorcist, the Exorcist stairs are in DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there a couple years ago when I was in Washington driving through, stopped there one night, and I have a picture of me in front of the stairs doing the whole
Awesome.
like the priest, like,
They're awesome.
looking up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that picture. You sent it to me. I was like, oh, man,
Yeah,
lucky.
it was so cool because it was so creepy. Like, oh my God, here it is.
Heck
And I
yeah.
was like waiting. Like the people who lived on top, if they were smart, they would have like a mannequin with like Reagan's face on it in the window. Like that is what I would be doing because it would scare the shit out of people, you know?
It's as you can imagine, it's a common place for bands to take pictures because of the lore and all that, because of how historically
Yeah.
important it is.
It's so
But
iconic.
it's so funny when you're there because you're like, okay, so you look and you're at the stairs, and then you just turn literally like 45 degrees and it's like an Exxon. You know what I mean? It's like just right there with the gas pumps and all the smell and odor and everything. And you're like, dude, this is this iconic scene from this movie. And it reminds me of like, I have a friend who, he spent some time over in Cairo recently for work. And I was like, man, I've always wanted to go see the pyramids. It's on my list. He goes, it's so funny because it's just the same description, except pyramids, you turn and it's Pizza Hut. He's like, it's like Kentucky Fried Chicken. The whole strip is like as American as possible, but no one includes that in the picture that they share on Instagram and everything. So
Yeah, I heard a buddy of mine told me it's like on the opposite side of the pyramids there. So yeah, you're seeing all the ancient Egypt thing in the one view, and then on the other side it's just like, gosh,
Do they deliver to the pyramid? Because that's what I would want. I'd want to be at the top of the pyramid going, I want my pizza right here, you know?
30 minutes or less, or it's free too.
That's right. That's right.
Forgiveness is divine, but you never pay full price for late pizza.
That's it. That's it.
Although we didn't record necessarily record an album or a song to a horror theme, we did film one of our videos that we just released for a single called The Traveler, centered around the story of the Bunny Man.
Oh,
If you know that story.
Mhm. Yeah, that legend. Yeah,
oh, that's cool.
that's cool.
When does that come
Yeah.
out? Or is it out now?
It is out now.
Is that now? Okay. Is it on your
Yeah,
website?
Yep. Yeah. It's actually it's done to the song "The Traveler."
The Traveler.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Great
Excellent.
tune.
are you
Fantastic.
guys familiar with the cryptid, the Bunny Man?
I'm
Mhm.
aware, but I don't know other than just knowing he's one because Ohio has a plenty of cryptids too. I know like the Mothman and the Muck Monster. There's all kinds of fun cryptids around here.
Mhm.
So how
And
long has the Bunny Man been around in your area?
Isn't there a lake monster in Erie?
Yeah, Lemmy.
Mhm.
Lake Erie Monster. That's right.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Lemmy Killed Mister, but that's right. I am Lemmy and over here. Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah. Not far from where we live, there's a bridge that goes. It's a train bridge that goes underneath a one-lane road, and it just goes to a couple. It's really just to access a couple driveways. So it's kind of the end of a road. And there was some story about a guy who dressed in a bunny outfit, killed some teenagers and hung them from meat hooks underneath that bridge.
There's always a meat hook. Like, where do people keep on getting these meat hooks?
Well,
Yeah.
they're they're always hooked up to bridges, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta always have them around for the lore.
So
Exactly.
it was the
Meat hooks are us.
drink and smoke and all that stuff. So, but it's a fun one, you know.
Yeah.
So the fog and the thing was another one.
Yeah, the fog,
Mhm.
the
Fog.
thing, Exorcist, I think an Omen. Yeah, I think any of those would be could be really
Okay.
wonderful. Yeah.
All
Excellent.
right, you
Okay.
got some homework to do.
Yep.
Okay, guys. This is an alien shows up and asks you to represent metal in 3 songs. What would those songs be and why? 3 songs.
Mhm.
All right, Hendrik.
I've just what comes to mind is Angel of Death, just because it makes sense.
Hmm.
I want
So,
player. I couldn't pick a song, so that's good. All right, I am with
What
that.
what else? Ben, what you got?
oh man, there's so many. Like I'm thinking about it too hard, I think, you know.
I feel like Iron Man or Paranoid needs to be on the list.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe it's not Black
Gotcha.
Sabbath that needs to be on the list, but I feel like there needs to be like if we need to. This alien knows nothing, right? So we need to give him.
That's right. You got to give them 3.
You got to give him something that's
3
okay. So
songs.
no, this is like this is the core, and then there's like from there, which I think Slayer takes
Right.
Sabbath to the next level, right? But
Okay.
Slayer also has a lot of punk influence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on that album though. Was it the
Undisputed
album
Attitude.
Undisputed Attitude? Yeah, which is a fun
Yeah.
album.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right, Christopher, what song are you gonna tell the aliens? What are you gonna add to the list?
I might add "Sad but True" to it.
Okay.
Why? It's a pretty standard song to me, and that's just kind of get them into a locked into a groove and just ride it out.
Sounds good. All right, and the last hypothetical, if you could be any superhero for 24 hours, who would you be? And what would you do with your day of power?
Hmm. Man, I mean, you know, like I'm gonna go for the most generic answer. Like I'd probably have to be like I'm gonna just say Superman because he can fly, and you know, I would probably just like spend a day flying around, just like looking at everything. You know, who doesn't want to fly?
Yeah. All right. Hendrik.
I'll go with Batman. I think there's a whole lot of crime happening right now, you know, that we could fix.
Excellent. All right, Daniel.
Oh man. See, like all these guys, these superheroes, they all have jobs though. Like you're expected to use your power all day long. Right? I have to pass. Let's give this one to
Christopher.
I I'd go with probably Wolverine. Go
Yeah.
tear some shit up for a
Yeah.
while and
Do you guys remember Howard
have
Stern?
fun.
Oh yeah.
Fart Man. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
was
one you
like,
want to
power
be?
of
You
my
want to be
hand.
Fart Man?
Yeah.
it was like the Video Music Award going,
Blowing the bad guys away.
and they drafted to like some sort of like fly up across the audience. Do you guys remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, the podium blew apart when he let one rip.
Yeah.
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 Was that like a whole movie or is that just like a skit?
He wanted to make a movie.
He
out
wanted to
of
make a
it.
movie, but yeah. I think it would have
Yeah.
gone real thin, real fast. Like, okay, we get it. We get it. You fart on things. Yes, thank you. We got it. Yeah, I think it worked best as a gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I know some of you are more or less horror fans, but I'd like to talk a little bit about horror. We are heavy metal horror after all. So, for those of you who do partake, what are some of your favorite horror movies?
Oh. I'm gonna say like you know top 2 are gonna be one Aliens and the other probably the Halloween series. You know, I have fond memories of young friends sitting in the living room on the floor watching, all those movies.
Mhm.
The Exorcist was definitely one.
I went to see the Blair Witch Project when it was, in the theater, and it was like just out. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
that was cool because it really was scary. Like it was like so budget that you felt like you were in the like, like we were saying, you sort of feel like you're there. Like now you're
Yeah.
now
It
it's
had documentary feel for sure.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
that found footage
Right.
kind of shot,
Right. This was the first movie that did that.
Right.
And then what was so smart is they did so much publicity beforehand
Oh, the
to make
marketing? Yeah.
the marketing to make the idea of the Blair Witch like a real thing. Like this is real folklore. This is a real thing,
Mhm.
And then in Ohio we have some haunted places. Gore Orphanage is a big one, where the orphanage burned down. And you can go out and you could hear the screams of the children and things like that. It's pretty morbid, but yeah. So that would make sense.
Mhm.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about Halloween. What was your favorite Halloween costume, if you can
Hmm.
remember?
I was the Wicked Witch of the East one time.
Nice.
I won
Cool.
that week, man. Hands down, crushed it.
Excellent. Ben?
Nobody else.
Kendrick?
I can remember our mom making
Frankenstein.
helping make our costumes as a kid, and when
That
we
was
were
cool.
kids, um, it was a huge thing. It was a huge thing. Like everybody got, they weren't stuck indoors on their phones and stuff. Like you got out and everybody went trick or treating. But
Mhm.
our mom helped many years, and uh, one of my favorites was a werewolf.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I remember having the back in the day when you had the plastic masks with the little slit for your lip mouth, and it would just cut your lips to pieces.
Yeah, cut you out of
Um,
hell. Yeah,
yeah,
that was
that was
really
one of my
child
favorites.
safe, wasn't it?
Yeah, the
Yeah, that was
Wolfman. That's
great.
childproof. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
child safety.
wonderful.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Halloween, what was your
Had-
favorite Halloween candy to get? Oh, Daniel, unless you had.
They had to cut the little hole because otherwise you would suffocate.
Yeah, yeah, but it was
That's
sharp.
Every
Like,
one of
maybe
us
kind of
left the
cut
mask
it on the
just long
outside.
enough.
Yeah, not on the inside of the lip, because it was definitely like, holy crap.
You look at like a kid now, and they'll like their skin will be blue because it's so cold, but they like won't put on a jacket. And I know I was in those same shoes. You know what I mean? So
How many times a year can you go around getting candy from people?
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
pillowcase full. Yeah.
That's right, pillowcase. That's right. You're just dragging that thing home. Next time I'm gonna bring a wagon. That might just be easier. And speaking of Halloween, before we get into our next subject, what was your favorite or is your favorite Halloween candy?
yeah, I heard you jumping into that. I'm a big Snickers fan.
Mm,
I'm gonna go with
Reese Cups.
Reese's. Yep, Reese's.
Oh, see, gotcha.
There you go.
I'm, you know, I'm weird. I really like the candy corn.
That
Yeah.
is weird.
That is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a love-hate thing. People, I don't know why people hate on it. I've always enjoyed candy corn, you
Just
know.
got to drink a lot of water with it.
Yeah.
But it tastes good. Okay.
I like
Excellent.
having lots of leftover, and then you like melt it down with some peanut butter, and you make your own Butterfinger.
See,
Huh.
It's a thing. Like look on the
Candy
internet.
corn
It's a
turns into
thing.
Well, now
Butterfinger?
Yeah,
you gave me
it
an
tastes just
idea.
like
I know what I'm
Butterfinger.
going
It's
out
Really?
tomorrow
amazing.
and
Okay, now I
grabbing.
got to do this.
I
All
got to try it
right.
out. Oh yeah.
Huh, nobody better lay a finger on my homemade Butterfinger.
That's it.
Nice. Okay, now I gotta try it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, these are we're moving on to some one-offs. These could be questions about anything. Um, let's start with what one song do you wish you'd written and recorded instead of the group who did?
Hmm. What song that I could claim as my own? Wow.
Yeah. Okay, Daniel. One song, man.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Like it's sort of. I can think of songs where I'm like, I just absolutely adore them, but like, it's something about music. It's something that someone else's, you know. Like from a jealousy perspective, I don't know. I do like everything off of Appetite for Destruction. Um, what I really enjoy about that record, which kind of relates a little bit to like what we were talking about with Blair Witch and stuff about that authentic feeling and how today in music too, like everything is becoming more perfect, right? With all of the tools we have, everything gets like perfected to the point where it's like it doesn't have any mistakes in it. And I really enjoy that about some of the music that was out back then. You know, it's not that there's like you hear mistakes, but you can tell that it was performed and you hear a performance. You know what I mean? That's something I like to try to emulate. That I like to try to go for. It's like a real, a true raw feeling. Um,
The closest thing I can, being a singer, the closest thing I can give you an answer to that is one of my favorite songs to sing along to is Stone Temple Pilots Plush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. All right, Christopher.
I mean, to meet the theme, I would have to say, I don't even know what the song's called. Daniel, you know what it is. It's Do You Want to Play? I think is the name of it. That's the song that's they're rocking out to in Bill and Ted.
oh yeah. It might be Come Out and Play. That's extreme.
Dream.
Extreme Come Out and Play.
Okay. Hendrik.
I'm gonna go with Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath.
Ah, nice. Excellent.
Cool.
Okay, which non-music celebrity would you most like to have a drink with? Non-music celebrity.
Have a drink with.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Johnny Depp. Well, I guess technically he's in music though.
But he's more known for acting, so yeah. Okay.
Mine,
Jim Carrey.
have a drink with, huh?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna say like I'd like to hang out with Seth Rogen because we'd be doing more than drinking.
Yes.
Might
Yes,
roll one
sir.
up,
Yes, I understand.
you know.
I do.
But
I understand completely. Christopher?
Oh yeah, I'd go with Johnny Depp. Just think it'd be
Johnny Depp,
cool to
yeah.
meet.
Oh, that's what you said. Sorry. Hendrik.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Okay. All right.
oh, yeah,
And Daniel.
Yeah, I was gonna go with a comedian too. I think Will Ferrell.
Excellent. Yeah, he'd be fun. He'd be good to do with too.
It could be.
All right, and the last one. You've just won the lottery. What's the first thing you're going to buy?
a
We
venue.
got some upgrades to the van we're trying to make for sure.
Yeah.
First, we got to fix that
A
headlight.
van for the van.
Yeah,
Probably maybe get a larger van, or a bigger vehicle. Nice.
I don't
Okay.
know if we get a new van. We're very attached to the nothing van.
We would just have to replace the.
Upgrade the tires.
All right, guys. Well, we got a game we want to play. This is called Blast Beats. And I'm going to ask you a question, and you just all in rapid succession, just simply. It's mostly like a one or the other, like a short answer, multiple choice. All right, here we go. Favorite pizza topping?
Pineapple.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Pepperoni.
Paperback or
Peas?
Kindle? What?
Oh, cheese. I thought it
Cheese.
said peas.
Jeez.
Peas could work.
Jeez.
Peas could have worked. Paperback or Kindle?
Paperback.
Paper bag.
Yeah, paperback.
PC or Apple?
Apple.
PC.
PC.
DC.
Favorite streaming service?
Spotify.
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 Favorite cartoon character?
Dexter.
Bugs.
Skeletor.
Maybe Sonic.
Nice. All right. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint chocolate chip.
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Dog or cat?
Cat.
That's
Cat.
universal.
Justice
all
League
cat
or the
lovers.
Avengers?
Oh. Justice League.
Avengers.
Bigfoot or the Justice League? Oh, sorry, Henrik. Justice League, did you say?
Sure.
Okay. Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Loch Ness monster.
Loch Ness Monster.
All right. Dracula or Frankenstein?
Because the Busch Gardens.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Dracula.
How do you like your steak
Frankenstein.
cooked? Oh, Frankenstein? Okay, sorry. How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
Well done.
Okay, favorite movie snack?
Snowcaps.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I go Reese's Pieces.
Popcorn.
I remember one year I was in grad school and we got a Mr. Bulky's store. And do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Where they sell bulk items, bulk candy. And I made the mistake of buying a pound of snow caps and eating a pound of snow caps that evening.
Yeah. If they're there, you're gonna do it.
Exactly, because you're just like, I had some friends over and we were just watching movies. I'm like, just eating one at a time. Like, oh, this is really good. But after 3 hours, I'm like, oh wow, these snow caps, and I was just sick as a dog, but well worth it. Okay,
Your hips. You know what I mean?
that's right. Okay, your favorite subject at school?
Science.
Music.
I'm going to say astronomy. I remember going in that and just falling asleep.
There you go. How about your least favorite subject in school?
Math.
English.
English.
Okay, Spielberg or Tarantino?
Tarantino.
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
The best concert you've ever attended?
Foo Fighters at the Black Cat at the end of their third tour. Special show only announced to staff. They played for 3 hours. They played all 3 records in their entirety.
Wow.
Ozfest 2004.
Family Values Tour 98.
All right, and the last one of the blast beats questions. Your favorite line or scene from This Is Spinal Tap?
There's so many. All right, for me, it's got to be the Stonehenge when they bring out the 12-inch Stonehenge on the stage.
Yeah.
That's too funny, man. Because he wrote inches instead of
That's right.
Yeah.
Alice goes to 11.
Yeah.
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 Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got one more game we're gonna play. This is called the Hot Seat. I'm gonna name a band, and I want you to tell me your favorite album by that band. All right, this will be rapid fire again. Black Sabbath.
First one, Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
All right, Judas Priest.
Ooh. Is Painkiller one of the records?
Painkillers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Song, right? I
Good
haven't
album.
listened to Priest in a while. It's been since I listened to them a lot in high school.
Mm.
Been a long time.
Anyone else? Any other albums from Priest?
Mm.
Okay, moving on to Queensryche.
Mm-mm.
That's
Okay,
another band.
I'll take.
That's
Oh,
that's another band that, so like the prog stuff, my mother was oddly into also. Like, so they had a record called like a self-titled, right?
Yeah, they had an EP,
Right.
Queensryche, and then
Yeah.
they had the Warning came after that. Yeah.
Right. And then Rage for Order,
Mhm.
then Operation Mindcrime. Yeah,
Yeah.
Minecraft, right?
yeah, Mindcrime's great.
Yeah.
My mother was like Rush and Queensryche, that she would listen to that stuff, but and of course, like everyone knows, Silent Lucidity, right?
Yeah, that
But,
one put him on the map.
that's what I'm trying to. It's all coming back to my head, but that's like sort of my exposure to them was a little more passive, but great music.
All right, just a few
We had a
more in
friend's,
the.
one of our friends' band recently played with them.
Oh yeah, with Queensryche.
Yeah, they did. I think so. I might be wrong about this, but I swear that Schumann played with them down in like Virginia Beach area last year. Does that sound right? Are they still touring?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still touring.
Yep, yep. And Jeff Tate is also touring, so he's doing his thing. Queensryche's doing their thing. So, okay, moving on. Rush.
Oh,
Roll the Bones.
Favorite Rush album.
2112.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going Roll the Bones.
Roll the Bones. All right. Any others? How about Opeth?
See, this is why we need Casey here, because he's a huge Opeth fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and that's another band I want to say has been around since the '90s, right? But I never really discovered them until the last couple records where they kind of got a little more folky sounding.
Yeah, and Proggy. Yeah.
Um,
Although
so
their new one is returning back to their heavier roots. So yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
right.
it's a spectacular album.
So like Pale Communion was like
Yeah.
that's the record that like I can I really got into them on.
Yeah, that's my favorite album of theirs. I love that album.
A lot of times when you discover a band, like that's the sound that you identify with. So it's so funny. Like to me, I always think of Metallica. I always think the Black album as like their best, like their biggest record. Of course, it's like the best selling record of all time. So how can you argue with that? But then you have these like true metalheads. They'll say no, some Master Puppets, right? And then some people say Ride the Lightning.
I have to say Injustice for All. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say that has a lot to do with your bias of when you discover that band and what it was that really drew you to them. And so that's really what.
Yeah.
Like Ghost Reveries is where I came into Opeth, and that's my favorite Opeth album. So
Yeah.
I really love that one.
Yeah, I saw them on that tour. That was great. Fantastic show.
Right.
All right, just a few more.
That was like early 2000, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, King Diamond. Any King Diamond
biggest
fans?
influence for me is the makeup.
Yeah, I noticed in the videos, you're wearing makeup. I go, that's fun. All right. Is that every show, or is it just like when it feels like, yeah, I want to wear makeup tonight?
No, so it's been a relatively recent thing. So this band, when we were young, we used to have a couple of friends that we would have put skeleton makeup on, and they would just stand there like just as like statues while we played. And then during the last song, they would kind of push off and try to start and it was to try to encourage activity and energy in the crowd. We were young, and maybe that was a foolish idea or whatever. But we played when we started playing shows again after as COVID kind of lifted. The first show I think it was that we played coming back was a Halloween show, and I put on skeleton makeup, and it's like, oh, that's kind of funny how that was like an unintentional nod to this, and so I just have done it ever since. But man, King Diamond, that's like, dude, Merciful Fate, like that makeup is so cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. Chop and I have seen Diamond and Fate a couple times. Yes. Oh yeah, one of my favorites. How about Iron Maiden? Favorite album, Iron Maiden. Album by Iron Maiden.
Beast.
No Maiden albums. No one calling it. Okay, we'll just do two more. Slayer.
Mm,
South of Heaven.
I like all
Okay.
of them. I think God Hates Us All I listen to the most
Mm.
anymore.
It's a good album.
Hmm.
Really good. Yeah.
Seasons
And
of the Abyss is the one I think I first really got into one, but for some reason South of Heaven to me has like the more memorable songs.
yeah,
But like Seasons of
Seasons
the Abyss,
had some commercial. They had some commercial success.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, like is that what was 213 on that one?
No, that was
Divine
Divine
Intervention.
Intervention.
Oh, that's
Chicks, you owe
Divine.
me a Coke.
Because I feel like that one was,
Yeah,
but
nice. And the
well,
last one on the hot seat, you wanted the best, you got the best. Kiss. Favorite Kiss album?
come on, guys. My favorite Kiss album is actually not. I'm be straight with all y'all. It's not a Kiss album. It's actually a cover album, but it was a
Is it the
tribute
Kiss
record.
My Ass?
Kiss My Ass,
Yeah.
and it had, I mean, everything from White Zombie to
The Garth Brooks cover of Hard Luck Woman is fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah. Yoshiki, Black Diamond, beautiful.
dude.
Yeah.
That so it, no diss to Kiss, but it's just what I. That's how I sort of really got in. Aside from, I mean, rock and roll all night and party every day, which you've like every one of us has heard so many times.
Right.
But like
Yeah.
a lot of the rest of their songs, that cover record, that tribute record, exposed me to them. You know, Detroit Rock City, like all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so
It's a really great cover album. There's a lot of cover albums that are not that good, but this one I like because they let the artists kind of do their thing. You know, the Mighty
Yeah.
Mighty Boss Tones sound like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Toad the Wet Sprockets doing his own thing. So yeah, no, I love to hearing that version of Plastercaster, and Going Blind by Dinosaur Jr. I think I actually love that version, yeah.
Yeah, good one.
About them
oh man,
forever.
I listen to that in a minute. I also had a T-shirt that I bought of like the album art. And I remember in high school they would make me take it off because it had a bad word on it or something. I had to
Oh,
wear my gym shirt the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Like, come on. But there was around the same time there was a Black Sabbath tribute record that came out that had,
Nativity in Black.
yeah, Ministry on it. I remember, and so inside the cover had a lot of quotes from the people that contributed to it. And I remember Al Jurgensen said, Black Sabbath, more addictive than cocaine or pussy.
Yeah, I used to have that. Yeah. There's such great cover. White Zombie doing, Children of the Grave, and
Yeah.
Ministry did, I believe, Supernaut, if I'm not mistaken, which was
okay.
really sounded good.
Yeah. That was when
Good.
Mike
I love
Scatia was
Supernaut.
playing guitar with him.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste. What a really good album.
Great album. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. We only got a few more questions, guys. For this one is about fandom. We're all fans of other artists. What is your favorite piece of memorabilia, if you have any?
Oh, what do I have?
Like a poster or a T-shirt or something signed, anything like that?
I still have plenty of CDs. I'm not really a memorabilia person, but I do actually like having either the vinyl or the physical items myself with all the art and stuff.
So do I. I get a lot of flack from Montag though over years, but we just let him use a blowhard. I just let that go off one thing. Collector's curse is real, isn't it? So fuck him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we had a whole show about our collector's curse.
Yeah, we
That's
did.
right. That's right. That's right.
I tend to, so like some of the stuff that's like in the more common domain, like popular stuff, to me would be like too someone else would probably pay a lot of money for. But I have a large collection of local, like, DC, like local bands, 7 inches and things like that,
Mhm.
that some old t-shirts from back in the 90s that were out of print, that are cool. It's cool to have.
Nice.
It's cool. I got one of Mike Schleibaum's amps behind me from Darkest Hour sitting right there. It's just
That's
super
cool.
Oh, yeah.
and they're sort of a contemporary band, but I mean, that band has such a huge influence on me. I know that they know this, but I mean, from the time I was a kid, their first drummer lived across the street from Christopher and I, and so when I was like 14 years old, I would walk over and stand outside of the garage and listen to them practice. So kind of like Ben talking about Torn Apart up in Baltimore. These guys had a big influence on me, and still, I'm still friends with all these guys, and it's just really it makes you super proud of the people of them for succeeding, and also being such a beacon of hope, like to all of us, all of these other musicians, to like they've been doing it for 30 years, and they're still going, and that's just, I mean, to me, that's just so inspiring.
Nice.
And we're on top of all of that, we've been incredibly blessed to be able to work with those guys. So it's just been it's something I'm really thankful and grateful for.
Sounds excellent.
I have a lot of guitar picks from when I was saying I worked at some of these venues. So I've got some cool guitar picks, but I haven't opened that thing in a while to remember who's in there. And because you were saying like memorabilia, and I hadn't even thought about that memory in a while, so I need to go find it because I think there's some cool stuff. Chris, I think like Dimebag and stuff like that, like real crazy good
Nice.
lines that would be cool to see again. And it's
Mhm.
kind of like a time capsule that I think
Mhm.
2 moves ago I put some, I
Yeah.
know where to find it, but um, so
Yeah, I knocked my best friend over at Iron Maiden concert to catch Steve Murray's wristband, but I caught it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I flattened him. Nah,
and,
he
and
wasn't getting it.
that's so cool. And I think what's cool about these stories is that, and now for me, it doesn't matter who it is. If we have someone at one of our shows, even just last week, we played in DC in a really small room. I mean, like almost as small as this room. Like, it was so small, but it was a packed crowd and everything. And a few of the people talked to us afterwards and asked us if they could take home set lists. And I know how meaningful that is to people. And I always, we always make, as we go out of our way to make ourselves available at shows to talk to people, sign things. So if anyone's listening and you do end up coming out, don't be shy. That's something that means a lot to us too. So
Absolutely.
Oh, excellent. Nice.
Important.
So as we're heading out, what are your plans for the rest of the year, 2026? What is
Yeah,
Age of
it's on the
Ruin going to be
agenda.
doing?
well,
Keep them busy.
we have a lot going on right now. We just played a string of shows, so got a few weeks to kind of get the van tweaked a little bit. It's a constant work in progress. That's why we joke about it so much. But um, we have there's a ton of material in early phases of writing. Like some songs that are pretty well structured, but guitar solos or drafts. Some and lyrics are there, but I'm excited to see how a lot of that material shapes up over the next few months, so that we can start targeting some time, like
Yeah.
about when we can schedule recording more material out. Because what was really all of what was really so rewarding about doing the Nothing Man record, we also learned a lot from it. We're excited to take what we learned and bring it to the next level. So
Nice.
we got a lot of shows too, so we'll be
Yeah.
around.
2026. I mean, we're with the schedule that we all have, being adults and everything, we're keeping as busy as we can. And between then, we got a lot of stuff in the works, and we can't wait to pump out and let everybody hear.
You going to be up in the Cleveland area?
We're working on it,
chance?
man. We are working on it.
Yeah.
I think so. And we will absolutely reach out to you if we're there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, if I'm
Yeah, we'd
available
love
to
to
come
come
out,
see
it'd be
you.
nice to see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Um,
We've
well,
played Erie,
guys. Oh,
but I'm
go ahead.
not sure from you. Is that
Broke up a little bit.
did I break up? Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna. We've played Erie too a few
Oh, okay.
times. That close? It's like an hour.
No, Erie, Pennsylvania is it's a couple hours away.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that far?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But oh, it's
Akron was. I
still
think the closest
Akron.
thing we.
Akron's about 75 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
I said,
Akron,
we definitely
Canton.
go. Okay.
Yeah, nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, guys, I want to thank you again first. Then I say, if you don't mind, would you mind doing a bumper for us? You know, this is say your name of Age of Ruin, and you are watching heavy metal horror, something like that. I can point out to each one of you, so we can all take turns. So we'll start. Ben, let's start with you.
What's up? This is Ben with Age of Ruin, and you are watching Heavy Metal Horror.
Hendrik.
This is Hendrik from Age of Ruin, and you're watching Heavy Metal Horror.
Daniel.
What's up, guys? Daniel from Age of Ruin, and you're watching Heavy Metal Horror.
And Christopher.
Hey, this is Christopher from Age of Ruin. You are watching Heavy Metal Horror.
Thank you, guys. And thank you
you
for
guys
taking
so
the time
much.
to be on with us.
Appreciate it.
We've had a really great time talking about your music and getting to know you better. And we're excited to see what you guys do this year. Because Nothing Man is such a ferocious album.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing it live. I hope we get a chance to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
can't wait to meet, man.
yeah, be awesome. All right, we're
Thank
gonna
you,
do
guys.
our outro, and then we're gonna invite you to bring up the horns with us as we go out. You can find Heavy Metal Horror on unsaneradio.com. Listen to full episodes or download to your device. You can find us on Facebook, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. On Instagram, look for Montag Lewis, one word. Our YouTube page, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. If you're watching, that's where you're at. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you know someone who would like our show, tell them about us. This has been Montag, Master of Illusion.
ChopTop.
And you've been watching and listening to, all right, guys, bring up the horns. Heavy metal horror.
This is Doug Helvering, and you have been listening to Heavy Metal Horror, the best podcast that you've never heard before.